Hey there. Think of today's session as your very own completely personalized high-end cake consultation. Whether you're a couple actively planning your big day, or maybe you're a passionate DIY baker eager to create an absolute masterpiece, we're going to completely demystify the wedding cake design process for you today. We'll be breaking down exactly how a magnificent cake is built, starting right at its structural foundation, all the way up to its most breathtaking, intricate decorative finishes.
Okay, let's dive into this. Our agenda today covers 4 key areas. First, the great debate of buttercream versus fondant. Second, the boho-style guide. Third, luxury gold leaf details. And finally, designing your perfect cake.
Section 1. Buttercream versus fondant. Choosing your structural base. Okay, so every single masterpiece needs the right foundation, right? And when it comes to cakes, your structural base is dictated by 3 things: your venue, your climate, and your personal taste. That brings us to the ultimate tension between taste and aesthetics. On the left, we have buttercream. Now, buttercream is beloved for its rich, creamy, completely natural flavor that genuinely enhances the cake beneath it. But here's the trade-off. That mouth-watering buttercream is highly sensitive to heat. So, an outdoor summer wedding, that could literally mean a melting disaster. On the right, we've got fondant. Fondant offers an immaculate, flawless finish with incredibly sharp edges, but it's much sweeter and noticeably less flavorful. In fact, you'll often see guests actually peel it off before eating. The massive upside, though, is its unbeatable durability in warm weather.
And this brilliantly illustrates how budget and climate might literally make the icing choice for you. Buttercream requires fewer specialized ingredients and a much faster application process. That makes it around 20 to 30% more budget-friendly. Fondant, on the other hand, demands premium pricing, mostly because of the sheer time and high skill level required to get that sleek, polished look. But check out that bottom row: heat durability. If your venue doesn't have AC, or if your cake needs to sit out on display for a few hours, fondant's excellent stability suddenly makes it worth every single penny.
Now, if you do decide that fondant is the way to go for that flawless look, there's some practical advice you really need to hear. You have to follow some strict rules to maintain its structural integrity. Always keep it in a cool, dry place, far away from direct sunlight. And crucially, avoid refrigeration unless it's absolutely necessary. Why? Because condensation will completely ruin that perfect finish. You also need to keep the ambient humidity levels low to avoid it getting all sticky, and of course, transport the whole thing very, very carefully to prevent any dents on that pristine canvas.
So, you've chosen your base, you've navigated the budget, the venue temperature, the flavor profiles, the whole shebang. But once that base is fully set, how do you actually bring your specific theme to life?
Section 2. The boho-style guide. Accessible, nature-inspired finishes.
This dreamy, laid-back boho trend has been wildly popular lately, and it just so happens to pair perfectly with a rustic, textured buttercream base. So the crucial point is, achieving that natural beauty still requires some practical rules. You want to use organic elements, for sure, but longevity is key here. If your event lasts longer than 6 hours, fresh elements might just wilt or get soggy. So you'll want to opt for wafer paper flowers or dry decor instead. And most importantly, you absolutely have to prioritize food safety.
Let this slide act as a massive reality check, especially for all the eager DIY bakers watching. You can't simply pull a gorgeous fresh flower from the garden and shove it right into a cake. Fresh florals often contain pesticides, and introducing that to something people are going to eat is, as the source bluntly puts it, a big no-no.
But don't worry, the solution to this problem is surprisingly simple and honestly brilliantly clever: cake pins, which are also known as flower picks. These are little food-safe tools that you push right into the cake. The opening faces out, allowing you to insert your dried or non-edible floral stems without the stems ever making physical contact with the cake itself. It creates this totally safe barrier so you get that amazing rustic floral look without any contamination. Problem solved.
Bringing this style all together, here are 7 really accessible ways to decorate a DIY boho cake. You can use 100% food-safe edible flowers, like pressed pansies. You could add dried fruit slices, like orange or grapefruit, for a super earthy vibe. Silicone molds easily create rustic basket weaves. You can add food-safe ribbons, or just stick to neutral, earthy colorings for your icing. But you know what the most popular trick is? The naked or semi-naked frosting look, which actually is really just applying a tiny bit more than a crumb coat so the actual cake peeks through. Finish the whole thing off with some simple sprinkles or elegant gold pearls, and you're good to go.
Section 3. Luxury gold leaf details. elevating to high-end couture.
Now, we are transitioning from the accessible, rustic nature of boho straight into the absolute highest end of cake couture. I'm talking about gold leaf. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that this is actual, real gold, pounded into the thinnest of sheets. It is exceptionally fragile. Like literally, if you breathe too heavily during application, it might just blow away or tear. But that incredibly delicate nature is exactly what makes it such a premium, luxury finish.
There are 4 specific ways high-end designers utilize this incredible material. First, you can apply it directly over sugar foliage to create literal gold leaves. Second, a complete cake covering. This creates a breathtaking illusion of a solid gold tier, absolutely perfect for grand, elegant venues. Third is a partial covering. By letting the icing underneath sort of peek through, it creates incredible texture and a very trendy, artistic couture feel. And finally, gold leaf flecks. Even the tiniest little flecks offer a refined decadence that painted gold simply cannot match. It is brilliant for tying together a whole dessert table.
Section 4. Designing your perfect cake. Tying taste to aesthetics.
As you'll see, every single element, from the structural icing all the way up to the final decorative flourish, needs to work in total harmony. To truly tie your taste to the aesthetics, your venue is your ultimate guide. If you're celebrating in a rustic barn or an outdoor garden, you definitely want to lean into a buttercream base. Embrace that semi-naked frosting look and use pressed edible flowers or dried fruit for that true boho charm. On the flip side, if you're in a formal ballroom or a sleek, modern space, you really want the pristine durability of fondant. You want those ultra-sharp edges, maybe accented with a solid tier of luxury gold leaf, to perfectly match the grandeur of the room.
At the end of the day, the design choices are entirely in your hands, but as we've seen, they come with some very real, practical considerations. So, as you plan your big day, ask yourself, will you prioritize the mouth-watering, natural flavor and rustic charm of buttercream, or will you choose the flawless, structurally sound, weatherproof masterpiece of fondant? Whatever you decide, you now have the exact blueprint to build it perfectly, from foundation to finish.